What's up, guys? F-Focus, and we back on some Escape from Tarkov. I know I have my top 10 video. I actually have 2 of them that I've made. I've reviewed them, but there's just something about them I don't really enjoy. I don't really like about it. I don't want to put content on my channel that I'm not, overly fond of. So I haven't put them out yet. It will happen. Don't worry. But I'm going to kind of revise it and review it a little bit more and then punch it out. But there's a tip on there that's to know a route. Know a certain map, kind of like the back of your hand. Study it so you know how to do, repositionings. You know how to go about that way. But definitely know a certain set path, a route that you know that gives you success. And that's what this video is kind of going to be about. It's going to show you my route, and obviously your route changes depending on what's going around you. So a scav boss is a big one that definitely changes. But this is going to be kind of my set path on how I go, and I want to kind of tell you guys and show you because it's obviously been updated because the meta is changing.
It's behind you. He went behind.
What do you mean behind?
He's behind that building. He's in the crack in the wall behind you.
You're right or your left? You're right or your left?
Oh, like he just went straight behind that building. I'm watching if he comes out the left.
Got him.
Where'd that grenade come from?
Him.
You threw that? Oh shit.
Alright, fellas. Now, if I spawn here, alright, if I spawn right fucking here, normally if you spawn on this far west side, you'll have to fight your way out to try and get over to the main part of the customs map to get out of the spawn area on custom side. So normally I like to go down there and look at bus. Or I'll just push along this far north side of this map over here on custom side and push over to crack and try and fight people. I don't really go to the south much unless I hear gunshots because that kind of like a camp fest. The trash area over there is just really a trash zone. So I try to avoid it. This is my kind of set path. I'll go across land bridge, right here, second land bridge, or I'll go across water bridge over here. And we'll get across on the main part of the custom side and usually go to dorms because that's where all the action is right now with scav boss. And you'll know if there's scav boss or not. So post wipe, obviously, we'll talk about more of that on my top 10 video. But this is if we spawn over here on custom side. You really want to get out of this area as much as you can or get on the far east side of custom spawn so you can watch whatever traffic, whatever foot traffic is leaving custom spawn. Alright, now moving on to the other spawn in custom, since this is obviously going to be focusing on custom, since this is kind of my map. Basically, you spawn on boiler side over here. It's mainly a king of the hill spot, is how I see it. If you can kind of take point on the main focal points, then you really win all the fights. If your aim's obviously doo-doo, you're going to lose. This is Propane Hill. If you have control of Propane Hill, you can block all foot traffic anywhere on this east side. Anybody behind M4 or behind Dead Scav, whether they run across the train tracks or running to try and get through Big Hole, they have to go through you, essentially. Another hard point, Tyler likes to get up here. We call this Overlook. But another hard point is over here on this hill. Because if you're on this hill, you can actually see over in here into Courtyard and see kind of what people or how people are moving through it. There's certain, I guess, blind sides or blind points you can't see. And those blind spots, people can get out of Courtyard without you even noticing on hill. But if you're on hill, you obviously have control of both small hole and big hole. And you can hold every single angle and stop people from going there. So really, you want to just play King of the Hill real quick. This is kind of a hard game to get out of. But if you spawn on boiler side, you take control of one of those points, you know the best times where you can push and kind of exit. And every time I exit, I don't like to go through Courtyard to where I have to make that jump. I like to kind of walk around convenient right here. But if Scav Balls is here, then I will go through Courtyard through Factory Shortcut. And with that said, I talked to you guys about Hill. The only thing bad side about this hill spot is everybody can see you. So anybody in Courtyard over there, they can see you. No matter where you are, all the way from this angle over here. I mean, you stand out like a sore thumb, even anybody pushing through big hole or small hole. So you've got to be careful of being on the hill, but if you see them first, you can usually take the first shot. However, something else I want to point out. This is Overpass. You can see all of Overpass. Okay? Very easily. I don't know how many times I've killed people on Overpass from this hill over here, usually with a suppressed SKS, with a PSO, but they don't expect it. And there's one more spot I want to show you guys. This is my cheeky spot. I've killed an infinite number of people from this spot. I'm going to tell you guys so you guys can also use it since my subscriber base is not that big. There's an invisible wall here, but if you kind of run up on it, you'll fall down onto this little ledge right here. Okay, this is invisible, so you can't go like super far, but you can literally watch this. You can watch anybody coming through on this backside by the fence, and you can also sit here and watch anybody that's pushing convenient. If Scav Boss is here, this spot is absolutely perfect. You can see courtyard a little bit. I've killed some people over here in courtyard, but usually you don't kill too many people in courtyard. But if you're right here, this tree obstructs all vision of people pushing on hill, so they're literally pushing this hill and walk right past you. I've been looking over here at convenient and heard people to my left, and I've literally just switched over and watched them and just got them as they ran by. It's that simple. If I spawn over here on custom side, then really what I like to do is I like to get across either land bridge as fast as I can. I obviously prioritize second land bridge and water bridge, but Tyler and I lately have been going across the actual bridge. But I like to get across as fast as possible, and I like to take complete control of new construction and or this hill right here. Once I have control of these 2 points, I like to literally, if any action happens, if I'm almost fucked up or anything as far as that goes, I will always push around to the far north side of dorms, and I'll push all the way until I get to backside overpass right here, and then this is whenever I choose what's happening. If Scav Boss is here and they're fighting, and this whole area is kind of locked down, and it's not gonna obviously be successful for me to push that way, I'll sit right here on overpass, usually backside. I never go front side. That's a death sentence. But I'll go backside overpass and I'll wait for my time to strike, whether that be take out these winners, and so I can push around through here over by this shack and on hill, and then just go through big hole and then obviously go to the extraction. If that's not feasible, but the front side is actually clear, I'll go through factory shortcut right here. I never really go through alley anymore like I used to. I'll just kind of run up this side. I'll check gas station. If gas station is a go, I'll obviously extract gas station. But if gas station is not a go, I'll run behind wallet warehouse and check this bunker extract. Here lately it's been bugged. So if it is bugged, you can get on top of this bunker and actually jump this wall, and then that'll take you a straight path to the actual extract. It always works. But if that's obviously not the case, some people can't make that jump. You'll have to run around this side of Medvan, go through the gate, and then I usually wrap back up around here and go around this path right there. So that's my main path. If I'm ever fucked up like that, I try and go incognito as much as possible. So this far north side, up and around, and then pretty much stick to the whole north side of the map until I can get inside and go over here. Once you get through big hole right here, all of this pathway is kind of fair game. Sometimes I go in front of M4, and I'll go in between the 2 buildings. Sometimes I run straight in front of dead scav, and sometimes I just go all the way around by admin and come down. This whole boiler side's kind of just fair game, however your paths feel safe. But the north side of the map for me has always been the best route. If I have a lot of gear on me and I just want to get out in the safest manner, that's the best route for me. That obviously doesn't work for everybody, but it is the best route for me. Alright, so now if I spawn over here on boiler side, there's not so much you can do. Like I said, it's pretty much a king of the hill thing. You got this boiler hill. You got actual hill over here behind convenient. And then you pretty much have what I guess I can say is courtyard being a nice spot to lock down. Now that you can actually spawn over here right by this train car in front of gas station, running over here and sitting behind this truck and or sitting around this little building right here, watching everything, all the foot traffic that comes from this jump or that comes from the gate. It's the greatest thing, because people in their mind, courtyard right here is the safest path to go. They don't like to go around convenient, especially like right now with Scav Balls being 100% of the time. If there's any Scav Balls convenient, they want to avoid that as much as possible. So they'll push through to courtyard right here. So if a lot of people have been camping, so just watch your P's and Q's when you come this way. Obviously, if you have an optic, scope it out first. And if you don't, try and stay incognito. When you jump around here, kind of go in the bushes and sit around bunker real quick if you're not being shot at. You can kind of hug this wall and jump straight over here. There's a rubble pile and some bushes here. And you can make your way inside wallet warehouse and kind of peek out both of these doors. If that obviously doesn't work, if you're being shot at, obviously just run around, right here. How I always kill people sitting in these two spots, I'll run around, wall it, and I'll make my way up on the actual tracks and cut around and go through this little alleyway, and I'll peek up right behind them, right by the porta potty jump and right by factory shortcut, and you can usually catch them off guard. Now, that's obviously best case scenario. That may not always happen, but if you find yourself able to get out of boiler side, because this is the PvP side of the map, I recommend not going to Overpass. Has a death sentence. I always recommend going to this hill right here. Obviously, the hill to the east side of dorms, not to the west side, not to be mistaken for this hill. But you go to this hill, and you can kind of wait, because obviously I'm a big PvPer. I'm not a big PvEer, so I like to always kill people. If I hear shots at new construction, I will always push around. I go to the northwest point of bus stop. Tyler likes to push through inside the blue crate to the new side. I don't really like to go that way anymore because it's never really been proven to be successful for me. Usually these people are watching and they have an angle on blue crate, so I don't really like to go that way. I'll come to this northwest point of bus stop, and I'll always push to the small hole, which would be the one furthest west of actual bus stop, or of bus stop, not actual bus stop. And I'll usually make my way in over here by propanes and either go to Ninja, or that's whenever I usually push around to this propane tanker here, and then that's whenever I watch everything in new construction, and or I will run underneath new construction and watch down the alley, either from this building right by Ninja, or like I said, underneath new construction. I call this alley, a lot of people call this elbow, however you want to call it. This is a really high foot traffic area for really geared players or just players in general. So if you watch that, normally you can get some kills. More players will push through elbow or alley than they would these three entry points right here. So you can watch these 3 points less than you can watch elbow, because more people actually push through elbow. It's more enclosed and it's more covered. And there's obviously less scavs in elbow than there are out over here by ice cream. Now, you make it through this area. Maybe if you go through dorms. If I ever go through dorms, I usually run over here. There's a trash pit right there. That doesn't actually show it on this map, but there's a trash pit right there. And you can usually take control of both points. A lot of people will go outside this fire escape on this far south side of main dorms. Or people go through the main door on 2-story. But if they do go out this fire escape on the north side of 2-story, you can't really watch them unless you actually come to this north side of the point and watch it. But I've been finding less and less people going outside the fire escape on the north point of main dorms, so it's kind of irrelevant unless you're watching 2-story. But if Scab Boss is in there, obviously you can figure out that area, kind of know where to go with that. But however you want to choose to get out of this middle section of the map, for me, the best path for me to always take, I run straight through. If I ever spawn boiler side, obviously, like I said, my safe path, like normal, is run and hug the north point and just go always straight to the extract. But that's not always the case sometimes. And if that's not, if I'm actually looking for PvP, my best path is to go on hill, kind of figure out where I need to go, and I'll usually push straight across. Action usually happens at stackables, or actions will happen around these 3 bridges, and I'll just go and take this point right here down the road, and then I will look. If Smugglers is open, I take Smugglers, and if UN truck is open or Tarkov truck, I'll take that. And if not, I hardly ever go to this extract over here, trailer park, or what I call trash, because it's the trash pit. I never come this way. I always just push and hug this north side and go straight to this extract right here. North side for me in customs is always the safest. So if you just hug north, usually you'll be good. Alright fellas, that is going to do it for this video. I know it's kind of boring, but as I was making those top 10 tips, I guess, for post-wipe, whenever I made that route, when I was like, man, I've already done a route video, but people seem to like it, and the meta is changing, so it's always updating. I was like, maybe I'll actually give them a route video. I was like, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I could go real in depth with this to kind of help people out. There's obviously peak spots I want to show you guys. New meta spots as far as camping and stuff goes, because everybody's been using them. So don't worry, that'll also be coming out. And obviously my top 10 tips for the post wipe. I just got to revise that because I don't really like where that's been going. But anyway, guys, without further ado, hit that like button, subscribe, share if you want to, and as always, enjoy. Matt Ninja.
Okay.
Kill the guy. He has
Where?
a Val. He has a Val. He was right next to this building.